In this video, I'm going to be sharing an immigration news published by The Guardian on May 11th, 2024. I feel it's very important that I bring this to your notice so you know what is going on. In this video, I'm also going to be sharing things you can do to help yourself to check the effects of these things. What you can do is very important that I share my opinion on what you can do to help yourself if you find yourself in this particular situation. This is your cue. If you are easily triggered by sad immigration news, that you should just click off, because I know this tension is really high and I just feel for everybody. But sometimes you just need to know what is going on so you can plan accordingly. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK, US, Canada. If you're interested in any of these countries, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you know it's time to watch Cynthia Academy. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate all you have been doing. Thank you so much for your love and support. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Now, this is captioned, "Revealed thousands of innocent and abandoned migrant care workers told to leave the UK." It says that thousands of migrant care workers have been threatened with deportation despite doing nothing wrong after the Home Office took enforcement action against their employers. In one case, a brother and sister from India who paid a recruitment agency £18,000 to secure care jobs in the UK, only to find they had been scammed, were told they must find another company to sponsor them for 60 days or leave the country. This is so sad. A brother and sister, £18,000. That's a lot of money, you know. Don't pay for COS. I say this all the time on this channel. Please don't buy COS. You find yourself scammed and you come here and you will suffer. Please, it's illegal to do so. Zainab, contractor, 22, and her brother Ishmael, 25, had borrowed money from relatives to cover the cost of moving to the UK. But when they arrived, they say the accommodation they had been promised did not materialize and they were not given any shifts. This is the Guardian saying this. No shifts. People are going through a lot. In April, they found out that the company that had sponsored their visas had been stripped of its license to recruit workers from abroad by the Home Office. But the enforcement action would also punish them. The siblings were sent a letter saying that because their sponsorship was linked to the sanctioned company, it was no longer valid. This is just so sad. So because their sponsorship was linked to a company at no fault of their own, they're just linked to this company, therefore they are kicking them out of the UK. They're given 60 days to switch to another employer or leave the UK. And let me tell you something, there are people that are trying to switch and some people have been denied. See, you have to bring evidence of the reason why you want to switch. Just prepare yourself with a reason why you want to switch to another employer. Another thing you have to pay attention to is that make sure that the employer you want to switch to has not had their license revoked. That's what's happening to some people. They find another employer and suddenly when they submit their visa application, they found that the visa is rejected or refused because the new employer's license has been revoked. So you have to be careful about this. I've always told people that the main part that is really sure, as in like, is NHS job. If you get an NHS job, they will surely be regulated by CQC, and also the fact that they have the license to sponsor. I've not seen an NHS trust fund or that doesn't have the license to sponsor. But with NHS job, you need a good supporting information, well written, and the competition is really fierce. And the problem right now is that COS is not easy to come about. So I will just encourage you to just keep applying. So they said they have since applied to more than 300 employers between them in the hope of finding another company to sponsor them. But as is common, they have been unable to find any willing to take them. Before, if you apply to maybe 50 jobs, you surely get one, because the market was not saturated and highly competitive as it is now. But as of now, because of the number of people that came in through the master's program, and they're also looking for visa sponsorship, and they might have come with their family, and also the people that came in recently, we are all aware of the challenges. People sold or bought COS to come in, and now the government has put all those restrictions. It means that any company that is going to sponsor you must have the license to sponsor you, as well as it must be regulated by CQC. Because of that, this has reduced the number of people that can, employ you for you to switch. So the market is really saturated, and I feel right now you need close to 500 applications. Another thing is that some people, their CV, I always say this thing, your CV is not well tailored to the job description. It does not match the values and the principles that govern that particular NHS trust or company. You will not be selected. Seriously, you won't be selected. You might apply to as many jobs as possible, but with a weak CV that's not captivating, you won't be selected. That is also the reason why I said look for a CV specialist. If you need help with something like this, you can reach out to me. The link is in the description box. Just reach out to me, and also the link for this article will be in the description box, so you can read it for yourself, understand what is going on. Another thing I need to share with you is that, please, wherever you are, whether you paid for COS or you did not pay for COS, there are people that did not pay for COS, at no fault of their own, but because their sponsor's license has been revoked, they are given 60 days to leave the country. Sometimes the process might take a while. For some people, it could take a long time, maybe 2 months, 3 months. But some people, the letter is sent immediately. Another problem is that if someone helped you to come into the UK, you might not know you are overstaying. Your sponsor's license has been revoked, but you are still there because you were not the one that provided the email address, or maybe it's the agent that you went through that did that, and the email has been sent to the agent telling them that, see, your sponsorship license has been revoked. You have 60 days to leave the UK, but you are not aware because your agent did not tell you. So always keep track of your email, know what is happening. Another place, I'm going to put the link here. This is where you can visit. If you visit here, you can identify whether your company's license has been revoked. Every day, just go through it. Even if you did not pay for COS, even if your company has been regulated by CQC or anything, there are people that initially they were giving COS free, but maybe their employer started becoming a little bit greedy, or employed more people than he or she should, and then the UK Home Office, when the CQC goes through their documents and feels that, oh, you employed too many people, they're not getting as many shifts, and the standard, employment hours is 37.5 or 40 hours a week, and your employees are not getting enough shifts, therefore I will revoke your license. I feel there are some things you're not meeting up with, and they revoke the license and you are affected. So I feel it's so important for you to check this every day. I just have to tell you the truth. You have to prepare yourself to switch, and also you can also pursue a job in your area of specialization. If it is not in line with care, you can get a COS. If you are highly skilled in the people that have more than one skill, they are very good carers. They've been trained in their home country, as well as maybe they were bankers, so they were doing voluntary, and they have picked up some technical skills in other areas. You can apply for jobs that is not in care. Of course, you pay attention to the fact that you have to pay for IHS fees for some particular occupation codes. But if the jobs are under the health and care visa option, you don't need to pay IHS fee. So it takes a while for you to understand how the UK works, study the system, so that you have an advantage. You know what exactly to do, how to move from that stage you are in, so you can take care of your family. Now it says that Zainab, who moved from India to build a better life for her 2-year-old son, said they now face returning home with debts they have no prospect of being able to repay unless they can find another sponsor by June, We don't know how we will survive, she said. Ishmael, who quit his job as an investment analyst, oh my goodness, investment analyst, to come to the UK, said it's not fair. We are being thrown out without being heard. Oh my goodness, I feel Ishmael should just try to get a job as an investment analyst. That's just what I feel. I don't know what Zainab does, but if you find yourself in this position, you can actually switch to another occupation code. It's not illegal to do so. If you have the skills that fit into that part, all you have to do is to, like I said, you need someone that will communicate your skills effectively. Those transferable skills you have from your previous employment, communicate it on paper on a very good CV, a good cover letter, and have a workflow to submit applications so that you can land visa sponsorship job. Their case is not a one-off. An investigation by the Bureau of Investigation Journalism and the Observer has found that 3,081 care workers had their certificate of sponsorship cancelled by the Home Office in 2022 and 2023. In 94% of the cases, the reason for the cancellation was that the company that hired them had its right to sponsor workers revoked. Another care worker threatened with deportation described the experience as hell. The 32-year-old woman, Catherine, left her job as a teacher in Nigeria to become a care worker in the UK. She and her husband sold their land and dealership business to cover relocation costs, but she said she was not given the work she had been promised. The manager was not taking my calls, and she said we were frustrated and confused. This is just frustrating, to be sincere, but she's a teacher. She's in a country that teaching is one occupation that is in high demand. They are in need of teachers, especially science teachers or SEN teachers. So you looking at here, and if it's not forthcoming, then switch to another aspect. I have many videos I've shared here about how to get a teaching job, even if you don't have the license to teach in the UK, how you can get a teaching job. Follow the steps. I think the problem with people is that they don't want to do the hard work on their CV, work on their cover letter, follow the steps in the video. Just, okay, if option 1 doesn't align with my situation, option 2 would surely align, or option 3, or option 4, and watch the video till the end. Apply the steps. There is also non-teaching staff opportunities that you can explore. I think some people struggle with applying for a job because it's a different skill altogether. Then find someone that will teach you how to go about it so that you stop stressing yourself. Or perhaps you can look for another care job in another aspect, maybe somewhere else, a rural area where many people don't want to live in. I think many immigrants like to live in big cities. You can leave the big cities and use uktssponsors.co.uk. Go to that particular website, screen the care homes or care sector, then put in the location you are interested in. Choose rural locations and apply for jobs there. Or you can do a walk-in by carrying a CV, then going to these care homes and just knock and have a chat with the hiring manager, ask if there's any opportunity there. But always remember that you need to check whether that company has the license to sponsor and whether they are CQC regulated, because a company can have the license to sponsor but they are not CQC regulated. I feel it's always important for me to share ideas like this. Like I said, I'm not an immigration advisor, but I share information and I give you ideas on what you can do. And you need to be active online every day. Dedicate an hour and a half every day. You will surely land a job before the 60 days is up. Now, the Home Office said it had taken action to crack down on worker exploitation and abuse within the care sector, and I was working hard to support care workers into alternative jobs when their sponsor has had their license revoked. But when asked about what this support was, it did not provide details, saying only that the work was ongoing. This is so sad because I was hoping the Home Office would come up with some solution to assist people who are facing this situation, because their innocence is not at any fault of their own. They did not commit any offense. And this being said, there was a particular link that was petitioning for the Home Office to do something about this. I'm going to put it in the description box because some people might be interested in it. I signed that. The Home Office wrote back to us and explained to us that, see, the purpose of anybody being in this country based on sponsorship is because they are linked to a sponsor, someone that is sponsoring them. And when that sponsorship is no longer available, they cannot have the right to stay in the country because that's the constitution. So that particular this thing reached 10,000, but we are hoping it reach 100,000 so that they can have some debate in the parliament, because many families are negatively affected by this particular situation. I don't know what you think about this. What do you think about this situation at hand? If you have any solution that you can offer that will help other people out there, you can just write it in the comment box. People will read and learn from this situation. If there is any good news, I know of many people that are getting visa sponsorship as a result of applying for jobs. They apply for jobs within that 60 days and they get it. So if they can get it, you too can actually get it. So I'm just encouraging you to, move on and do what you can do. Increase your workflow, optimize your CV, do a good job on your cover letter, send out applications to as many care homes as possible. You must not wait for an advert to be out there. I don't always share visa sponsorship opportunities here because I feel that if I shared one, there will be thousands of applications flooded to that particular website. Sometimes it crashes this website. And when that happens, you will see that if you are one person submitting an application amongst like 3,000 or 5,000 candidates, it reduces your chances of getting that particular visa sponsorship. So it's always best for you to source it. I might start sharing, but I just feel that if you really want to increase your chances of getting a job, a visa sponsorship role, you need to be proactive. I hope you've benefited from this particular video. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.